Doug Jennings and his son Dylan, members of the Bad River Band of Lake Superior, Chippewa, invited us to their home on the serene shores of Lake Superior to share in their Ojibwe cultural practices. Once there, we were taught to process wild rice, or manumin in the Ojibwe language, as well as collect and process fish caught by gill nets. Martin, a relative of the Jennings and an Ojibwe language specialist, joined us as well with his young son Hank. Also joining were family friends Edith and Mike and four-legged friends Charlie and Colby. After collecting the rice from the nearby Kakagan sloughs and letting it sit out to air dry, Doug, Dylan, Martin, and Edith demonstrated the process of parching. This involves stirring small batches of the rice inside a kettle over a fire. Parching hardens the rice kernel and causes the hull to become loose so that it can be broken off and discarded. Once properly heated, Doug takes batches of rice and loads them into this machine, which separates and spits out the hull, leaving the kernel behind. The kernels are then boiled in water and ready to eat. The result is a hearty and delicious dish central to Ojibwe culture. In fact, Martin tells us, wild rice was his son's first food. Right as the sun sets, Doug and Dylan take their boat out on the Chequamegon Bay to collect fish from a gill net they had set that morning. Originally unsure of what they would come up with, the result was a stunning bounty of walleye, salmon, trout, and sturgeon. Once the net is taken up, the fish are untangled from the net and placed on ice.
He has no teeth either. He's just got a big sucker.
Dylan lets this sturgeon go because he tries to only take 1 or 2 sturgeon per year. The next morning, it was time to fillet the fish. Dylan demonstrated where to cut on the fish in order to get the most meat out of it. The remaining fish carcass is placed in the woods as an offering to other wildlife, such as bears and eagles. Meanwhile, the meat is placed over a fire to cook and eat. After portioning out enough fish for themselves, the Jennings would give the leftovers to elders in the Bad River community.